Right now, someone weaker than you is winning, not because he is better, not because he deserves it, but because he acts certain. He speaks without hesitation. He walks as if everything belongs to him. And the world believes him. And you? You wait. You weigh the options. You think a little longer before you act. And while you hesitate, the opportunity disappears. Someone else takes it. Confidence is not a personality trait. It is a weapon. Machiavelli knew this centuries ago. The bold move first. The hesitant are left behind. Power does not belong to the most skilled. It belongs to the most certain. This video does not come to motivate you, not to comfort you. It comes to transform you, to erase hesitation, to teach you to speak like a ruler, to move like a man who expects obedience. From this point forward, your weakness will no longer be tolerated. It will be replaced, because you were not born weak. You were made that way. You were not born weak. You were taught to be weak. From childhood, you were trained to sit still, to wait, to ask permission, a stern look from a parent, praise only when you were obedient, a grade rewarded if you followed the rules, repeated until an identity formed inside you, the submissive. You do not notice, but every time you force a smile to please, you reinforce that identity. Every time you apologize for things that do not require apology, you train your brain to believe, I am small. I must ask permission to exist. That is the servant within, a loyal dog, always bowing, always worried. Is it okay? Am I bothering anyone? Am I hated? And if you do not kill it, you will never be free. Machiavelli did not ask permission. He did not wait to be understood. He did not persuade. He acted, and forced others to follow. Try to recall a recent moment. You wanted to speak in a meeting. The idea in your head was sharp, but instead of speaking, you hesitated. You wondered, what if I'm wrong? What if they laugh? And you stayed silent. A few minutes later, someone else said something close to what you thought. The room nodded. They took the recognition. And you? You were left with emptiness. That is the servant pulling your strings. It does not shout. It whispers. It slows you by a second, and that second is enough to lose everything. The powerful man does not obey that voice. He kills it. Every time he wants to shrink, he broadens his shoulders. Every time he wants to explain, he stops. Every time he wants to apologize, he looks straight and stays silent. Because dangerous confidence does not come from the feeling I am ready. It comes from doing what the servant within never dares to do. Notice, when you step quickly, you look like you're chasing. When you step slowly, the room must adjust to you. When you bow and nod, you signal weakness. When you stop nodding, others must wait for your cue. When you lower your voice to apologize, your words lose weight. When you speak decisively, the silence after your sentence becomes a weapon. You think confidence is a feeling? No. Confidence is a new identity, and that identity is born through rebellion. Not rebellion against the world, but rebellion against your old version of yourself. So carve a simple law. If something makes you small, kill it. A thought, a habit, a person, kill. If it makes you hesitate, confront it. If it makes you weak, deny it. If it tries to appear likable, smile thinly. Because nice men become tools. They are used, discarded, replaced. Powerful men are different. They do not beg to be liked. They choose to be respected. From now on, listen carefully to the voice in your head. If it asks permission, strangle it. If it tries to please, mock it. If it fears being hated, step on it. And each time you kill a piece of that servant, the ruler inside you opens his eyes one more time. You do not need to shout to prove you have changed. You only need to remove each small fragment of submission. This is a slow surgery, but ruthless. Kill the servant, and when he dies, the ruler will rise. Presence speaks before speech. Before your mouth opens, the whole room has already made up its mind. They have decided who you are, leader or lesser, simply by the way you enter. The weak enter as if asking permission from the ground, shoulders folded, eyes drifting, steps quick to escape attention. They spend their lives avoiding the gaze, and the world answers them with indifference. The powerful enter as if they bought the room. Slow steps, intentional steps, shoulders back, eyes meet and hold. Just a few seconds like that, no words needed, and they change the atmosphere. Others adjust themselves. They fall quiet. They step back. They suddenly show respect. This is not magic. This is body language trained. A simple, ruthless, and effective language. Occupy space. Whoever occupies space claims the lead. You can train this. Start with small things. When you enter a room, ease off the gas. Don't rush in like a losing swimmer. Place your hand on the chair before you sit. Open your shoulders. Take a breath. Mark your position with calm. Lift your chin. Look straight. Do not call someone's name to be recognized. You don't need miracles. You need a mechanism. The powerful speak little. They let others fill the space with words and expose weakness. They observe. They collect. They calculate. When they speak, each sentence lands like a ruling. People listen, not for content, but for weight. Think of the lion in the forest. It does not roar constantly to show off. It moves like a lion, and everything recognizes its place. Prey trembles. The weak withdraw. The powerful are the same. They are social lions. They move, and the entire ecosystem reacts. Do not confuse presence with arrogance. Presence is a calm that unsettles others. Presence is unhurriedness that makes others hurry. Presence is the echo of silence after each of your actions. Practice every detail. Hair, clothes, shoulders, hands, stride. A small touch on the table. A look held for 2 seconds. A slow breath before answering. All add up into one thing, a signal that you are not being controlled. And when you send that signal enough, others begin to question who needs to prove, who is truly lacking. They start adapting around you. They step back so you can step forward. They fall quiet when you fall quiet. They move before you signal. This is a strategic skill, not temperament. You can learn it. You must learn it. The first day, it will feel fake. The 10th day, it will feel strange. The 30th day, others will begin to change. The behavior you repeat today will become your bearing tomorrow. And when presence becomes reflex, you no longer need to shout or boast. You simply appear and the world adjusts itself. You do not claim space with voice. You claim people's minds with deliberate absence. But presence is not enough. You can walk slow, look straight, occupy space, and still be undone by every trivial sentence. Because there is another thing that decides in the end, how you use your voice. You can make every sentence a command or, conversely, let every sentence reveal your weak self. And that is why your voice must change, not loud, not many, but with gravity. In the next part, we will train that voice, slow, low, and decisive, the voice of the one who commands, not the one who asks permission. Presence opens the door, but voice delivers the final blow. You can enter a room with a commanding posture, but if you open your mouth the wrong way, everything collapses. One sentence out of rhythm, a trembling tone, an unnecessary apology. Immediately, you lower yourself onto the inferior chair. The weak speak as if asking permission to exist. They add, I think, maybe wrong, like an escape ticket. But each word is blood in the water. and others smell the weakness. The powerful speak as if issuing orders. No hurry, no explanations, no seeking approval. Each sentence is a full stop. It does not invite debate. It does not beg for agreement. Low pitch, slow pace, cold tone. Machiavelli wrote, "Power does not lie in truth. It lies in certainty. People do not follow reason. They follow belief. If you appear certain, they assume you are right. If you falter, they dismiss you, no matter how right you may be. To dominate, start with voice. Remove all weak phrases. I just want. I'm not sure. Hope this is right. Burn them. They are the servant's language. Speak short, speak direct, and let the silence swallow the room after. Silence after your sentence is a weapon. It makes others reluctant to challenge. They do not know what you will unleash next. They fear, and in that fear, your power grows. The weak think speaking more wins attention. The strong know speaking less commands attention. One heavy sentence outweighs 100 words. Practice. When you speak, lower your speed. When challenged, do not justify. Just one sentence, I disagree, and stop. Nothing more. The world will understand. Your reality is non-negotiable. Voice is the heartbeat of power. No need to shout, no need to argue. Just be certain enough that the whole room believes you have won, even before the fight begins. But voice is only a part. True power is tested on an invisible battlefield. Emotion. If you still get provoked by a taunt, you are not yet dangerous. The next part will open that battle. You can walk straight. You can speak with certainty. You can make the room fall silent with presence alone. But a single insult, a contemptuous look, and you lose everything. This is the invisible war where most men fail. They think they are strong, but their emotions remain in someone else's hands. A compliment, they soften. A criticism, they explode. A silence, they fidget. They think they are free, but in truth, they are puppets. Machiavelli understood this. He did not fear the enemy. He feared dependence. He did not trust sentiment. He trusted control. Because once others know what touches you, they know which buttons to press to manipulate you. Your mind must be a fortress. No open gates. No exposure. Only you decide who may enter. When someone insults, do not explain. Observe. What do they want? What are they hiding? When someone flatters, do not melt. Analyze. Why now? What is the motive? When someone ignores you, do not panic. Become colder. Let your silence be a weapon, not a wound. The weak are led by emotion. The strong use emotion as fuel. Anger? Use it as motive. Doubt? Use it as leverage. Offense? Turn it into a silence that leaves the opponent lost in void. Others are easy to manipulate because they reveal too much. You are not. Every glance, every gesture of yours must be calculated. Reveal nothing, react to nothing, only observe. Mastering the invisible war means no one can press your emotional buttons. No one knows what you truly think. No one can predict your next move. And when they realize it, they stop. They stop testing you. They stop provoking you, because you are the one who cannot be moved. But there is a harsher test. A weapon most men fear most. Rejection. And that will be the next step to forge the undefeated. Rejection, it bites deepest when you treat it as defeat. The weak treat a no like a shard of glass lodged in their pride. They chase, beg, explain, try to turn no into yes. And with that very reaction, they expose their position, easily bought, easily hurt, easily replaced. Machiavelli saw it differently. He treated rejection not as tragedy, but as intelligence. When someone says no, they reveal the most important thing: they can live without you. That is a coordinate. That is a map. And the intelligent use the map to strike, not to weep. Step 1. Do not react. The moment you react, you hand over power. Silence is the first declaration. I am not as wounded as you think. Do not explain. Do not pour your heart out. Do not plead. They want to watch you crumble. Don't give them that show. Step 2. Strategic withdrawal. Disappearing is not quitting. It is a maneuver. When you withdraw at the right time, you leave a gap, a deliberate absence that makes people start considering your value. What people can lose becomes precious. Scarcity is a tool, not an emotional retaliation. Step 3. Rewrite the story. You are not discarded. You removed yourself from a petty game. You do not parade your pain. You choose a higher vantage point. Do not tell them why you disappeared. Let your actions tell the story. Upgrade, not grudge. Step 4. Use rejection as second sight. When you return, no sarcasm, no boasting. Let your results speak. Cold success, composure, a dismissive glance enough for them to understand they were wrong to say no. Step 5. Weaponize the return. Timing your return is an art. Do not come back to redeem yourself. Come back to set the standard. Stand where your presence chills the air and forces others to measure themselves. When you re-emerge with multiplied quality, those who rejected you will ask, "Why did we let you go?" Understand this. Rejection has power only when you refuse to acknowledge it. When you identify rejection as a layer of information, you can analyze what are they avoiding, what do they lack, where do they place you on the board. From that, you sharpen strategy, change your image, raise your value, move elsewhere where they must either follow or admit the loss. Some will ask, what about self-respect? Self-respect is not clinging to a relationship without vision. Self-respect is knowing when to leave so you can return stronger. Self-respect is choosing strategy over emotional reaction. Rejection is also a filter, a test. It tells you who can truly walk beside you and who only needs you for convenience. When you accept that, your circle cleans itself naturally. Those who remain are the ones worthy of your effort. Practical conclusion. Do not ask for explanations. Do not beg. Withdraw with a plan. Elevate silence into strategy. Return with action, not words. And when you train this reflex, others learn the most uncomfortable lesson. You cannot be controlled. They realize that rejecting you does not make them better. Sometimes it exposes their short-sightedness. When you turn rejection into fuel, the next step is no longer reaction. It is setting the rules. You must control the frame, make others play by the rules you define. The next part will teach you how to seize the game's frame and let no one bend it. The weak are always defensive. Someone criticizes, they rush to explain. Someone laughs, they immediately justify themselves. They think they are fixing a mistake. In truth, they've already fallen into the frame someone else set. Power does not lie in argument. It lies in who controls the frame of the game. If you are pulled into their frame, you have lost even if you are right. If you set the frame, they will have to chase it, even if you are wrong. Machiavelli knew this. He did not argue. He did not plead. He flipped the frame. If someone tried to force him on the defensive, he needed only one sentence. Wrong. Then silence. No explanation. No debate. And the frame immediately shifts. Now, the opponent must run after his reality. You must learn this too. When someone attacks, do not rush to react. Just negate briefly. When someone doubts, do not pour out evidence. Let your silence carry more weight. When someone mocks, do not flare up. A colder look speaks louder than 1,000 words. Remember, the framer is the leader. Do you want to be dangerous? Never let anyone pull you into their game. In every conversation, every situation, you must be the one who sets the rules. Example, someone says, "You're not good enough." The weak will justify, listing achievements. The strong simply, "You're wrong," and change the subject. Result? The other person must prove why he's not wrong. Someone asks, "Are you sure?" The weak will fumble. The strong need only, "I do not doubt," and nothing more. Frame is not just language, it is bearing. When you refuse to defend, you teach the world one thing: your opinion does not determine my reality. And from that moment, you are no longer the one who plays by the rules. You become the one who writes them. This is the pivotal transformation, from victim to commander, from reactor to the one who forces others to react. Not every battle needs winning, but every battle needs a frame. Whoever holds the frame is the one who truly dominates. But controlling the frame is only one layer. For your power to endure, you need something deeper. Turn silence into a weapon. The next part will show you why the gaps you create are the most terrifying thing in the power game. You think strength comes from the voice. In truth, too much speech makes you weak. The more you talk, the more you reveal. The more you explain, the more you degrade yourself. The most dangerous person in the room is not the one who talks the most, but the one who is silent. Machiavelli understood. Silence is pure power. It makes others uneasy because they cannot predict you. It creates a void, and in that void, their imagination turns you into something scarier than any words. When you are silent, every gaze begins to turn toward you. They ask themselves, "What is he thinking? What is he planning?" That uncertainty is a weapon. The weak hate silence. They fear the void. They fill it with redundant words, forced laughter, unnecessary apologies, and those things make them predictable prey. The strong do the opposite. They use silence as pressure. A look held longer than comfort allows, a short answer and then stop, a moment of stillness while others wait. In business, politics, or love, the one who remains silent longer holds the upper hand, because the other cannot bear it and reveals themselves. Want to control a room? Don't speak first. Observe. Let them expose eagerness, weakness, fear. Then, when you speak, your words become an order, because they are rare. Timely silence is even more dangerous than a threat. A short closing line, then stop. The silence that follows becomes a blade at the throat, forcing the opponent to adjust. Practice. When you want to explain, stop. When you want to fill the void, stay silent. When you want to apologize, replace it with a look. You will see the world change. Others become restless. They talk more, explain more, give up information you did not ask for. And you? You just listen. Just watch. Just calculate. This is not passivity. This is strategy. You turn silence into a force field, an invisible gravity that pulls everything toward you. Remember, true power does not need display. Words can be refuted, but silence cannot be defeated. Yet silence is truly invincible only when combined with the skill to read people. Because the silent man observes more, sees more, and from that controls more. In the next part, you will learn how to use the gaze and waiting to invert the entire room. The weak enter a room, seeking attention. The strong enter a room seeking to observe. True strength does not come from display. It comes from seeing what others do not notice. While the crowd rushes to prove themselves, you stay silent. You look, and you begin to see everything. Who is insecure, who is jealous, who is waiting for an opening. Machiavelli once said, "The ruler need not know everything, but must know what others hide." The art of observation is the key. It lets you read the board while others only see the pieces. Notice the small details. Whose voice trembles when money is mentioned? Who speeds up their speech when directly questioned? Who laughs louder than usual to hide weakness? Each signal is a crack in their wall. Ordinary people ignore. The dangerous remember. You do not need to confront immediately. You only need to collect. The weak reveal themselves when they open their mouths. The strong simply nod, smile, and store the information. Because information is power. Reading people is not just body language. It is also how others react to your silence. When you wait, they get restless. They speak more than necessary. And in that surplus, they expose themselves. Here is the rule. He who speaks first loses. The weak rush to fill the void. The strong let that void reveal the opponent's nature. Observing also means becoming a mirror. People will unconsciously disclose themselves when they see a reaction in your eyes. But instead of reacting, you remain still. You look longer. You wait one more beat, and they expose themselves. Try this in daily life. Sit across from someone. They ask a difficult question. Do not rush to answer. Be silent. Look straight. In those few seconds of silence, they will add, I didn't mean harm. It is while they fill the gap that you gather the truth. Reading people does not make you a fortune teller. It makes you a strategist. Every expression, every extra word, every pause, all data. That data tells you when to strike, when to wait, when to withdraw. And remember, the most dangerous person is not the loudest. It is the one who is silent, observes, and uses the truth you accidentally reveal to turn you inside out. Build these habits. Observe first, act later. Let others speak more than you. Use silence to make them confess. Because the greatest power is not in what you do. It is in knowing more than your opponent expects. But observation alone is not enough. You must finish the game with a final blow, reshape yourself into the untouchable. That is the last step to turn you from ordinary into legend. You have traveled a long road. You have learned to kill the servant within. You have forged presence. You have honed your voice into a weapon. You have mastered emotions, turned rejection into fuel, and used silence to command the room. None of this is to make you better. It is to make you untouchable. Ordinary men are controlled by glances, praise, silence. You are not. Others test you, they flatter you, they ignore you, they provoke you, but every effort falls into a cold void. And in that stillness, they realize, you are the one they cannot manipulate. This is the end point, and also a new beginning. You are no longer the one waiting to be chosen. You are no longer the one afraid of rejection. You no longer need validation. You have made yourself the standard. From today, when you enter a room, you do not need introduction. Your silence is enough to make people adjust. Your voice is enough to end an argument. Your gaze is enough for someone to lower their tone. You do not need to say you have changed. The world will feel it in every step, every breath, every absence. And from that, you are not only confident, you are dangerous. You are not only strong, you are untouchable. You have completed a journey not meant for the weak. If you see in this video a fragment of your own truth, do not let it pass as empty motivation. Turn it into action. Hit like to affirm you have stepped out of the darkness. Share this video with those who need a cold awakening. And if you want to go deeper, to continue forging yourself into the untouchable, subscribe to the channel now. Because in the next video, I will take you into another deeper layer of the power game, where not only your confidence, but even your silence becomes an obsession. Do not miss it. See you in the next video.